Uh, just a little aside, General J.J. Singh was a little worried that there was no ribbon around the books to be opened. So I had to whisper to him that from what I gathered, these ribbons today are all made in China and we don't want to use them. So that's for the ribbons. Thank you, all of us, for being here and being for this book launch. And I was going last 2 weeks, 3 weeks over all these essays and contributions that my illustrious contributors of 16 strong, most intelligent minds of the day had contributed. And my task also was to condense those 30-odd essays to put together a small little note for myself today. So with putting all the important points together and as best as I could, trying to show that I remained brief, from the 150,000 words that are there in the book, I was able to reduce to 32,000. So I started reading, trying to see kitna time lagega if I speak these 32,000 words. So it took me about 54 minutes. Then I rang up a few of my friends, would you give me 54 minutes? And they all said, bhai thoda kuch kam kar do. So I sent that 54,000 words to my son. I said, thoda zara is pe help karo, mere ko reduce karo. So after 2 days, he came back with the reduced version, which was, I think, 22,000, which also was not enough. Then I sent those 22,000 to my daughter-in-law, and she came back with 16. Then I sent to my daughter, I said, koi mere ko help nahi kara, at least you must help. You've been signaled out today for being my support and all of it. She said, I'll do my best. She came down to 12,000. Then the genius in my family is my grandson. So I said, I'm last resort, sending you here now, make it at least 3,000, 4,000. He called me back for a clarification. This is true, huh? Don't think it's a figment, huh? He came back for a clarification. Those 16 names that you have, are they the authors also? Because after every article you have these, but they actually are the ones who wrote. I said, huh. So Kata, I think I have reached the solution for you. Give me a few minutes. Keep your email open. I'm just sending you the email. Within 2 minutes, the email came. I opened it. It said, don't speak. So I got back. I said, what do you mean don't speak? So, Dada, if these are the people who are written for the book, what more will you add? So I think you don't speak. So I'm not going to speak on the book. I'm going to just share one or two little backdrops to the book. And I think these are a matter of interest. I was doing cross-section from 1972 or so onwards. It's a bit of history. It has had various avatars. And in one of those very early avatars, I have a very senior journalist of today, Iqbal Chand Malhotra. He wrote for me in 1975, I think. Wrote for me in 1975. So this new incarnation of cross-section, I happened to approach Teddy and I said, this is what I'm doing. And Teddy is somebody, General V.K. Singh, Major General V.K. Singh is somebody whom I've known when he had still not acquired the age of 10. So I asked him, I said, this is what I'm doing. So he slowly started contributing, and in a process of time, we created a group of 12, which some of us call the Dirty Dozen, some call it the CS Collective, but all engineered by Teddy, his friends and colleagues from various arms of the services. So this group of 12, on a chat, which we do indulge in now and then, some thoughts emerged, and I just happened to pop up the question. I said, with all this meat coming into our monthly magazine, shouldn't we also do a little book? Because then we can have wider dissemination for all the good things that you're all contributing. So it took me about 3 weeks. Nobody was getting back to me. I thought, they're saying I'm non-serious, and I'm just suggested it. So we pursued it, and from January 15th to now, we've got this book out in a period of, I think, reasonably record time. 16 authors, 30 or 38 articles, 150,000 words. So that's where this book came in from. Then the question arose that I am putting this book together on what Vivek mentioned: geopolitics, history, diplomacy, defense. I did have a moment of internal questioning. Have I gone out of my depth somewhere? Because in recent years, I've been focusing more on hospitality, tourism, food, and suddenly where have I arrived? And then my mind harked back to 1972 when I started publishing. And I just want to remind you, because I think most of us have forgotten, I've listed a few things down. Then in 1972, when I brought out my first issue, it's very interesting to recall what were the subjects at that time which were the burning subjects of the day. And history has its own peculiar twists and turns. The subjects of concern in 1972 were no different than what they are today. We had a ruble trade which was getting prominent between India and Russia. We were bypassing American involvement in the South Asian region, focusing on the Soviet and the socialist blocs, and rupee trade was the big call of that time. During the 71 war, which you remember, the US sent the 7th Fleet into the Bay of Bengal, and fair amount of intimidation of India from the Americans. It's not happening today, but we don't know. A lot of people are saying that there is pressure on us in one form or the other, even today. Managing the map of South Asia at that time was a very major concern. Bangladesh was just a year old, and that was a major concern. President Nixon had made his trip to US, and the big concern was, will there be a kind of a new axis opening up between China, US, and Pakistan? So some of it, in various combinations and permutations, is still an issue. Bangladesh is an issue. Atmanirbhar was a major issue. MiG-71 was formed into, you will know, Air Marshal, 1971. The MiG-71 was starting the manufacture because of our Made in India program, and we were trying to use Russian help for putting our equipment together. A lot of our steel plants from Russian help came in around then as a part of the same initiative. So we were dabbling in these issues. Oil was a major issue, and bartering against oil, which is the big concern today globally, we were already in that in 1972. Coming back to this book, just as a narrative, I think all my authors have been brilliant. Their profiles are up there on the stage for you. 3 of them haven't been here today for one reason or the other. One of our authors has become the governor of Bihar 2 weeks ago. So he's up on a Bihar Darshan, General Hasnain, and he's doing that Bharat Darshan, so he couldn't be here. Ambassador Besaria and Ambassador Sajanhar both also couldn't make it today. So along with all of it, can I just say that I think we have a very, very formidable content in this book, and I can say that very proudly because it doesn't reflect on me, it reflects on my 16 authors. They've been absolutely brilliant. And I think the overall tenor which I could gather as a layman, perhaps as a generalist, economy, tradition, talent will all be dictated now by intelligence, new technologies, and we'll have to encounter fake narratives, cyber wars, cyberspace wars. And the book, while taking a very mega picture, and the big picture has also gone into very minute details. And some of those minute details are terribly, terribly important. General Pannu has a piece on mosaic wars. General B.K. Singh has a thing on water as warfare. A lot of relevant issues have come up in the book. And just to conclude, I think Kamal picked up two very important issues which I want to touch on. Kamal said that we don't know about the war today, because today is a critical time for President Trump to decide what he's going to be doing. And the other thing that he said was, this is a very, very good book. And I can only see between the lines that if something happens today and there is problems, I can only say that I see that the price of this book that we have brought out today is likely to go fourfold, fivefold. I mean, it's good. You see the price of gas and LPG, so I only suggest don't take a chance on your way out. Please pick up a copy and don't take a chance. So with all those few words, can I say, General J.J. Singh, very kind of you to accept our request and be here with us and speak so eloquently on a wide range of subjects which concern this book and all of us here in the audience. To my authors, my grateful thanks.